Hi, as promised, today we'll be looking at reciprocal trig ratios. And to start that, we must look at the properties of any reciprocal function. The first property is that the reciprocal of 0, so that's 1 over 0, is plus or minus if infinity. Likewise, the reciprocal of infinity is, let's write that properly, plus or minus is plus or minus 1. The next property is that the reciprocal of 1 is 1, so 1 over 1 is 1. That's quite logical. Reciprocal of negative 1 is also negative 1. So 1 over negative 1 is negative 1. For expressions with a maximum value, its reciprocal has a minimum value, So we go from max to min as we find the reciprocal of any expression. Also, if we have an expression that is increasing, its reciprocal is decreasing, and conversely. So we have an increase going towards a decrease, and vice versa, or conversely. And lastly, an expression and its reciprocal have the same sign. So whatever expression we have, its reciprocal. So expression with a sign has the same expression after we find the reciprocal of that expression. Now let's move on to the graph that we're looking at, or the two graphs that we're looking at here. You must be familiar with the sine wave, or sine theta, and its inverse, so that's 1 over sine theta is equivalent to cosec theta, and that's the graph you see below here. Now, if we note one of the properties is that a maximum becomes a minimum, and that's what we see here with this segment here. So if we look at this segment of the sine wave, the maximum now becomes a minimum in the cosec graph. And you can also see from these two segments here, this one here and this one, we can see it's now what was a minimum becomes a maximum. So it was a minimum at -1, now it becomes a maximum at -1, and likewise for this part, this segment here too. And that wraps it up for the reciprocal function of sine theta, which is cosec theta. And in the next video, I'll be looking at the reciprocal of cosine theta, which is sec theta. I'll see you on that one. Thanks, and bye for now.